I reckon half the fun is getting the experience. And the confidence comes afterwards. You need to do the thing to grow the confidence doing the thing. Hey adventurer, I'm Bridget Hallam from Throw Your Leg Over, and today I am talking about adventure riding and being ready for adventures, and what adventure riding really means for you. By the end of this episode, you could have a whole new way of looking at adventures and adventure riding, because we often have a preconceived idea of what it means when we hear the words adventure riding and adventure bikes. It can conjure up images of big adventure bikes like the BMW GS's and KTM's, like those big bikes that are designed for big adventures. We might think that it's all about gnarly dirt roads, dirt tracks in the middle of forests, riding over logs and through creeks and over rocks. We could think it's riders doing amazing hardcore things like Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman when they made their Long Way Round series, which I love, by the way, when they rode from London to New York, and they went through Europe, they went through Russia, Mongolia, Alaska, and all the way down through to New York. Sometimes we think it's like this big, incredible adventures that are just beyond us. But for me, adventure means something different. It means exploring new roads, maybe more challenging roads. It means riding to new places that we've never been before, experiencing new things, even new cultures if we're in another country, and meeting new people. One of my favourite things when we're on an adventure is meeting people. So if you see me out and about, come and say hi. And sometimes adventure is about pushing myself to be a bit brave. But for me, adventure is not a category. It's a mindset. And it's a willingness to explore and be open to new experiences. So let's bust some myths about what it means to be an adventurer. And the first one, the classic one, that you need to have an adventure bike, in inverted commas, to have adventures. You really don't. You don't need a specific type of bike. Obviously, having a bigger bike has its advantages, but sometimes it can make things harder. When Alan and I are touring on Beauty, who is a BMW 1200 GS, the classic adventuring bike, she is an absolute dream on the open road and up in the mountains and for those big long days in the saddle. But when we come into a gorgeous little European village with narrow, windy streets, with traffic everywhere and pedestrians wandering across the road, she's not the most suitable bike. Suddenly we feel the heaviness of her and how she's not so maneuverable, especially when she's fully loaded with all our gear. So what I want you to take from this is that your bike that you're riding right now is the perfect bike for adventures. It's not about the bike. The adventure is what you do with your bike. The second myth is that you need to be super experienced. I reckon half the fun is getting the experience. And the confidence comes afterwards. You need to do the thing to grow the confidence doing the thing. And it's natural to feel a bit nervous or a bit anxious when you're trying something new. We all feel that. That's the same for everybody. So keep going, try new things, and your confidence in yourself and in your bike will grow. Keep going. Another myth that I see women struggling with sometimes is that you need to be on the younger side. That when you get older, you might have missed the boat on the whole adventuring thing. And I absolutely disagree with that. Age really is just a number. It's more about how you feel. Alan and I met an 88-year-old rider, and he was still riding. In fact, I don't think he had slowed down at all because he was saying that sometimes when he was riding with a group, they were going a bit slow for him. So don't think that because you've hit a certain birthday that it's time to slow down or even to stop having adventures. Obviously, as we get older, health does become a factor, and you do need to work around those, to accommodate those and manage those, but it doesn't need to stop you. Try not to let it get in your head that you're too old. As long as you are enjoying it and loving it, keep going. The last myth I want to bust is that you need to be some sort of expert. I don't even really know what that means, to be honest. I mean, you do need to have some skills and some know-how, of course. If you've just got your motorcycle license, I'd say you're probably not ready for a 6-month trip around Australia solo. But the reality is, we're all figuring it out as we go. We're all learning. We're all developing our skills every time we go for a ride or set off on an adventure. You know, Alan and I, we still lose our way sometimes. You know, you miss a turn and suddenly you're on some dirt road, or your GPS decides that it wants to take you up a different road. We've had that happen a few times. We have a TomTom. We've called him Timmy. And yeah, Timmy has some interesting ideas sometimes. But, you know, we just reset, stop, turn around, try and figure out where we are and keep going. So our packing has evolved a lot since we started going for weekend rides back in the day. And if this is something that interests you, of like what to pack, how to pack, what to take, what to leave at home, then stay tuned, because I'm going to do some more episodes on packing. I get a lot of questions from women about packing, especially when we're in Europe and I've got one 40-litre pannier for everything pretty much. Yeah, people are really curious about what we pack. So if that's you, stay tuned. The other thing is that we all make silly mistakes. We all do it. Gosh, when I was riding Blaze, I pulled up, put the kickstand down, except I didn't put the kickstand down. I thought I had. And over he went. He had a little lie down. But that's okay. We all make silly mistakes. I haven't done that again, incidentally. I'm very careful now. And you learn. That's it. You learn. So you don't need to be an expert. And I want to tell you a little story about a lady named Sandra Carozzi. We met Sandra when we were in Turkey, way over on the eastern side of Turkey near Armenia. We were staying in a little hotel. We came out in the morning to see Beauty, just check on her in the car park, and saw this little orange Vespa parked next to her. This Vespa belonged to Sandra. So, of course, we got chatting with Sandra. She was from Italy. I reckon she was in her late 50s, early 60s. And she was riding around the world on her little Vespa solo. She'd previously done some adventures with her husband. He had sadly passed away. And so she had decided that she was going to continue having adventures on her own. She wasn't letting that stop her. And it was also a bit of a tribute to him and their love of adventures together. She had no plan she would just decide where to go, on the day to the next destination. If she liked it, she'd stay a few days. If she didn't like it so much, she'd just keep going the next day. No real plan. It was really just, we'll see what the day brings mindset that she had. And Sandra's on Instagram. I'll share the link to her Instagram in the show notes down the bottom so that you can follow her. She's amazing. What it all comes down to is you just need a little bit of courage to take the leap. Adventures don't have to be extreme to be amazing and fun. It can just be riding an unfamiliar road or planning a longer adventure than you've ever done before. Maybe riding solo for the first time. I've never ridden solo. I want to, and I will do it. And this is the thing, adventures are about whatever you want to do. So what's an adventure that you could say yes to? Then take a big breath, be brave, do a bit of planning or be spontaneous, and throw your leg over and go. If you've got any questions about adventuring, send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to help you. I'll put some links in the show notes below on how you can message me. And if you've enjoyed this episode and you want to hear more, subscribe. If you'd love to leave me a review, that would be amazing. And also maybe share this podcast with one of your riding buddies if she would enjoy it too. And I will see you in the next episode.